One other good thing to know when you're using a loop in Rust is how to return a value from it. And I'll show you an example of where you would want to do that. So we have a counter again, and then let's say we want to make this variable called my number. And first we're going to have a loop, and we're going to do some stuff. So counter, we're going to increase it by 1, and then we'll say if counter modulo 53 equals 3, and then we will break. Now this won't work the way it is, and I'll show you why. So let's try to print it out. Whoops, here we go. And it says, we can't format it with this. We're getting an empty tuple, so it's giving us nothing. And even if you print it out, it's not going to be the value we want, because all we're doing is we are making this this counter, or we're increasing it, and then we're just breaking. And then so let my number is getting nothing. So what you do is you just boom, you just add break counter. And now it is 56. So break plus variable name means break while returning the variable counter. So that's all you do. You put the name of the thing you want to return after break, and you get the value. So the last thing I want to show you is you remember a few videos ago we were looking at match statements, where we had like match color, and then it was like actually it was RBG, and then we were doing like RBG if R is less than 10, that sort of thing. This time we have a better way to do it, and we're going to do it with a loop, and it works like this. So let's do this match colors again, and we have a tuple of 3 I32s, and this is maybe still not the best way in the world to do it, but this is another way to do it. And so comparing a color with so-and-so red, so-and-so blue, and so-and-so green, and then we're going to print these out. And by the way, you can just go down to the next line if things are getting too long. So RBG 0, 1, and 2. And then we're going to put them all into a vec, and we will use the vec macro to do it. And then we'll do this, let's see, we'll call it red. So it's going to be a vec of tuples, and the first one will have the number, and the next one will have the name, and you'll see why later. Blue, and then RBG.2, and then green. So now we have a vec, and now we're going to say all have at least 10. So this is going to be true. We'll start with that, and then we're going to go into our for loop. So we'll say for item in new vec. So now this is going to go through this item, and this item. So it'll do it 3 times, and then we'll say if item is if item 0, which is this number here. So it's the first part of this tuple. So if item.0 is less than 10, then I'll have at least 10 is now false, because this one has less than 10, so of course this cannot be true anymore. And then we will say print that out and say not much something, and now we will item.1, which is the not much, and it'll bring in this this name of the color. And then let's see, when we get down to the end, if all have at least 10, and then we will print every color has at least 10. And by the way, one interesting thing here is this is the same thing. If all have at least 10 equals true, but because all have at least 10 means true, then this is basically saying if true. And if something is true, then it will run the next part of the code, and then we'll just print a line at the end with nothing. So then down here in the main function, we will make 3 tuples. Let second equals 50, 50, 50. And let third, we will make these 200, 50, and 0. And then finally, we get to match colors on our tuples. So we go match colors first, and then second and third. Second and third. And let's run it. Let's see, for item in, I spelt it wrong. Nuvec, Nevec. There we go. Nuvec. And there we go. So this time, it's better than our match statement, because first it's going to tell us if we have low blue and low green, whereas in the match statement it just looked at blue and said, hey, there's not much blue, and then it didn't even bother to look at green. So this is an example where a match statement is probably not as good as a for loop.